dough right now feels slightly tacky, but this is perfect. I mean, this is my idea of just perfect dough. It's just really nice and soft.
How long did it wait?
Just 5 minutes. Yeah. But you know, in the wintertime, sometimes it'll take 20 minutes. In the summer, it really goes fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little cutter. I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces because if I were to roll out this one big piece, it would go from here to the other side of the building or something. I'm slightly exaggerating.
And then you put it back in the bag.
I put the stuff that I'm not using back in the bag because you don't want it to get dried out. So I'll put it here. And then when you have the dough that I've cut, the shape that I want, we're making pasta today. The shape, yeah, they're going to be samples. So what you want to do is, I call it, it's like driving a car. It's like a steering wheel kind of thing. So I'm going around and around and around, and I'm using the heel of my hand. Hey, gentlemen. So you want to do it on the pasta machine. I'll show you one that it isn't attached. This is the way this works. Is there's a big slot here. Think of it kind of like a mail slot, putting something in the mail. And then there's a dial here, and this dial moves, and that's how you control which number you're on. And the first number is the widest opening, and with each successive number, this thing gets smaller and smaller and smaller. This one goes up to number 7, which would be great for ravioli, but we're going to go to 6 for fettuccine. And you'll notice on this machine, a lot of the machines have attachments, so it'll be just this part, and then you have to add on the fettuccine part, and you have to add on the spaghetti part. But I like these machines that have everything in one. And the way it works is there's a handle that comes out, and often when you're making it, the handle will fall out and people get freaked out. Don't worry. And the reason it comes out is because you need to do the part that just rolls it, and then the next part is cutting it, depending on which setting you want. So what I'm going to do is, you want it to be as much of in kind of a rectangle as possible. Okay, you're going to see how that looks. Because if I do a little bit of the work of squishing it at this stage, then the machine doesn't have to work so hard and it's not going to get stuck. So it's on number 1 now because that's the widest opening. Push it through. See that? And it's kind of like building a house or doing anything where you have a foundation. You want the foundation to be good. So before I could just blast off to number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I want it to be perfect. So I'm going to make sure that it has a good start. So I'm going to get this so it's a nice, perfect little rectangle. So that looks. I think I'll fold it one more time. Just if you're kind of OCD, that's it. Okay, I think I'll move on to number 2. It's a nice chamois kind of buttery color. So pull it out, go to number 2. This is a great activity for multiple people. Now I'm going to go to 3. Now I go to 4. Now I go to 5. At this point, if it starts to get too tacky, like right now as it's getting kind of ironed out, feels slightly tacky, so I'll put a little bit of flour.
Like you said, you can add.
That's right, that's right. And I can't tell you how many, sometimes when I'm teaching a cooking class, people get really exuberant and I want to just shove all the flour in, and it just ruins it. So just be,
It's really elasticy.
yeah, it is elasticy. And it's real, it's not like, whoops, it's pretty forgiving. So I'm on number 5 now. This is interesting. So look at how long it is. Let's use this board to measure it. So it goes right to here, right? That's 5. Now I'm going to go to 6. And 6 is where we're supposed to stop, right? See that? Okay, now what? This is the part that I always think is amazing. I'm easily entertained. So this is where it is for 6, right? But watch what happens when I put it through 6 again. You wouldn't think it would get any bigger because it's the same size, right? But no, it does. Watch this.
Amazing.
It's amazing. My sister's making fun of me.
She doesn't have the OCD.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she
I
does.
do.
In her own way. Okay, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the tricky part when you're doing it in the summer, is if we want to cut it, right? Like if I wanted right now, I could say, skip the fettuccine, I'm just going to go straight to lasagna. And you get a big dish, or little dishes, like for 2 people or something, and you can just put in your layering, and layer it, and layer it, and layer it, and you've got this beautiful little lasagna. Hi. So, but right now would not be good to cut this because it's just a little too soft and it would stick together. So I'm going to let it just hang here for a second. Isn't that pretty when the sun hits that?